Doing his own thing now. We in D Block Studios right now. We sitting on the staircase. I call it that because I feel, you know what I mean? Everybody say New York is a concrete jungle, and that's what I feel it is for real, man. I feel it's snakes out here. I feel it's wolves for real. It's wolves, man. It's wolves out here, and I mean that. It's gorillas out here that's gonna stand and stomp on them wolves, and that stand that longevity when there's wolves out here. You know what I'm saying? There's wolves and snakes in all angles, whether white corporate wolves and snakes or well, give me that, and that's what it is. You know what I mean? So that I just feel I'm one of them silverback gorilla niggas that's been here and holding it while I'm here, like, you know what I'm saying, and coming hard and giving you that music that you love. And that's why I mean, like my album cover, when I don't want to give it away when you finally see it, but it's hot, Scotch. I'm doing the indie thing, man. I got more guap with indie. What's the difference between doing the indie and major league? See, I know how that go. You gotta repeat the question. What's the difference between doing the major and indie? I got more guap with it with indie. And, you know what I'm saying? Getting my little paper off each sale, off really seeing your back end. Really like, yo, fam, I'm done with this album. I turned this in, this and that. You don't know what people go through, like being signed to these major labels. They don't see their back. Once they get their advance, that's that. That's straight up, that's that. And they get, I think it's like 12 cents or 15 cents off each album. That's no way for me, fam. Like I know I'm popping these little mom and pop stores, this and that, and these stores in the hood and this and that. I need more, fam. I got, even though like majorly, they may give you a little more push, but nowadays in these record sales and it's going today, the push, you swear, nigga, that he had a song out called I don't give a fuck, Superman, that, oh, like, and come back, yeah, whatever. Like, even though the sales ain't out here, but like, you don't know what, like, then they come back, well, he only did this, or Joe Schmo only did that. Wow, that's some major shit. They had $3 million behind that. Why the $5 million? Pushing it, radio, retail, boom, 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 boom. Why didn't do more? Because the people don't want it. They don't want it. They don't want it. It's a hot song right now, but are you gonna go to the store and spend your money? And all they do is read. All they do is download. So it's crazy. It's people. It's times changing. It's the kids. You gotta be relevant. Sheek is relevant. You want to, like, niggas. What's on that mixtape? What's on that? Boom. What's word? Who on this? Who K-Slick playing tonight on this? Oh, Cosmic Kev or whoever. Felly Fell or nigga. Like, these niggas is stamped straight music. Like, you know what you getting when you play Sheek records and so on. So I think it's that. I just think you gotta be relevant. Like, far as going to the store and buying it that easy, these internet dudes, where I don't gotta buy it. Go listen to your whole album. If I wanna go buy it, it's because of the artwork. It's because I wanna see
the credits.
The credits. I wanna say that I got the original shit, little homie. You ain't got this. You know what I mean? I was there, man. I was trying to get this. Where was I at through the past with all that? I was there. I was trying to get like the whole D Block movement going. I was trying to like get like, damn, fam, like, you know what? Like, cause you know the whole old story of where I really didn't want to do a solo project and so on. I said that story 1,000 times, but it was real. It was true. Like me and Sheek was like, damn, fam, how can we do this? How can we get some money out of this? Where they want us to do this for Cavassier. They want us to do this. How can we eat off that? That was loose, real talk. When niggas is partying, I'm talking to the nigga over here like, fam, how can we? I know all that Pastor Cavassier shit. I know y'all think we just gonna go in there because they got the little video out. Nah, how can we eat off of this, fam? You know what I mean? That was me. So I was just doing trying to do shit, as well as my partners. Don't get me wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? But once I started doing a couple of freestyles and the caliber of people that was calling back saying, "Yo, fam, give me another one." That's when I said, oh, they made one little album out of me, man, and it was dope, babe. You know
so how you felt when you dropped your first album and it was well received?
It was well received because I did like 70,000 first week at Universal. At Universal Records, and that was a label that was strictly, yo, you gotta, when I got there, it was Charles Sue and Ty Dash, Party Rad, and it was Kidar, my man Kidar. Like, I ain't meet with nobody but Kidar when I went there. I ain't sitting with, and as well as those people I just named. And it was dope. I mean, it was, you know what I'm saying? I was like, wow, all right, these people, they really want my Kidar. When I took the second album over and switched from Universal to that, it was strictly because Kidar said, yo, Sheek, Styles, yo, Kiss, check it out, I'm about to get up out of here. I don't know if you want to stay here. This Sylvia Rome is actually coming over to I don't know what Sylvia Rome, respect to her and everything she accomplished, but like, she was actually coming over, but Kadar was leaving. That actually brought us in. So at the time, I was like, you know what, word, we can leave. And Kadar, I love you, fam, because he said, I'm gonna wipe out everything where y'all don't owe shit, boom, this and that, like, Y'all could just leave when I leave. Word, I said, no more, let's go. We did this. This is Austin here. Hood. At the same time, we said, J Hood, you got the chance. If you want, you can stay here with Universal. Or you can come with us to this indie thing we're thinking about doing. Nah, say no more, fam. I'm coming to the indie thing, you know what I mean? So that's what it was, you know what I'm saying? But he definitely had the option to stay and so on, but that's when we left. Okay. And we went to indie. We met with Shadow and D and all these guys. What up, my niggas? And Alan and so on, and the whole fam over there. And we met with like what's the other indies and all that. Where Yang Yang and them was that?
D Block, the whole D Block thing was popping, so they wanted the whole, you know, the imprint. So Sheek came out. He came out with the 2 guns up.
Okay.
He wasn't initially feeling the way that things were going and the way that they, you know, was handling this project. So somehow he got up out that situation and he worked out a situation with Koch, which is an independent label. You know, and if anybody knows about independent label,
did he pull you with him?
That's what I was getting at right now.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So I'm scheduled to come out on Universal. You know what I mean? Yeah, still. So, and being a new artist, you need to be on a major label because they will give you all the things that you need as far as like the marketing and all the other things that come with having that machine behind you.
Yeah.
Okay, so now he went to go negotiate a situation with Koch. Like I said, which is an independent label for the people that don't know how that works.
E1, it's called E1 now.
Right. If you're an artist that was already out, you know what I mean, and you already obtained notoriety and people know you, it could be a good situation. You know what I mean? Because you could be going independent versus going major. So what Sheek did, he went over there and worked out, you know, a deal, and the deal was structured the same way as the Universal deal. So he came to me and told me, listen, Hood, we got a situation worked out with Koch. You could come over here with us and you could get $3 off of each album versus you staying here and only getting 85 cents.
Right.
So at that time, it was like a no-brainer. I'm like, you know what, y'all the big bros, you ain't got to say it twice.
Sounded good.
If I can get out this situation, I'm out.
Yeah.
So they got me about that situation. I had got a $35,000 advance. Let me throw that out there. They gave me 30 grand, but the way that I got the 35 grand, I was like 17 at the time. So I got the 35 grand, and not only did I get the 35 grand, but I got an accountant that handled the 35 grand for me. Excuse me. He was
for real?
He was charging me like $850, $900 a month. You know what I mean?
Wait, why would you need an accountant for 35 grand?
Listen, man, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Whose advice was that?
And this was their accountant.
And he charged $900 a month?
Well, if it wasn't $900, it was like $800. You know what I mean? And this is the thing. It's the same thing, $100 off, basically, the same thing. But check it out. The thing is this, and I wasn't allowed to take out, like, let's say if I wanted to like take 20 out.
Yeah.
It would be a problem. You know what I mean? Like, he'd be hitting me off in increments. Like, yo, you can only take 4 head, 5 head, 4,500 head. You know what I mean? So like spoon feeding me when I had ideas already of what to do with the money, but I'm being spoon fed. So being 17 and being spoon feeding it up. You know what I mean? So I'm buying a little hoopty head. I'm buying a little half a pea head. You know what I mean? Oh, but what you gonna do if you already got planned out what you're gonna do with the money and you can't do it because you're getting hit off in increments? So to go back to the Koch thing, we left Universal.
Are you sure it cost you $800 a month for an accountant? You personally?
It came out of my funds.
Wait. The whole thing? So like all their charges came out of your funds?
Oh no, not their charges, my charges.
So $800 a month for him to hold 35 grand for you.
Facts.
That's the most expensive bank I've ever seen in my life.
It was some crazy.
With TVT, we met with a bunch of people, man, and you know what I'm saying. But these guys at Koch felt like they knew the movement. They knew what was what. TVT had a whole yin yang sound, and they wanted this. You know what I'm saying? They knew what was what. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they was more southern, and so that's why we made the move we made. 35 grand.
Yo, man. All right, so look, so now we go to Koch. The deal was structured the same way. They wanted the same thing, a package deal with Sheek Luch album and J Hood album. Okay. We went over there, we signed that.
Because you trust Sheek, you went over to E1.
Exactly.
As you should, because they were veterans in the game.
Right.
I would have trusted them at your age as well.
Exactly. I trusted them because
big bro, right?
They were big bros. I believe that they wouldn't point me.
Hey, let's put this in there. I believe that Sheek had great intentions. Being independent was new. People like Core Mega and people like that were really pioneering the way, and then it was getting hot to go over there because Jim Jones was
right. Yeah, Jim Jones.
Diplomats and all of them were doing like independent deals with E1. So right. Sheek had good intentions that, hey, this is the new wave, you know, and so we're not downplaying it like, oh, this was a scheme.
It wasn't able to completely execute the plan.
Right.
You know what I mean? So all right, so we went over there. As soon as we got there, what he told me was this. You know, they want me to drive first since I'm a more of a known artist and I've been out already. Me, in my mind, I'm going to keep it 100. I thought, like, yo, there's no way they told you that because I'm super hot right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? And not just saying that on no big head shit. I was just like seriously. Like, anything we could have threw out, they was copping that. Mm-hmm. So he was like, yo, you know, I want to come out first. So I was a team player. I'm like, cool. We went to go sign a deal with Koch. See, I never told this what I'm about to tell you right now. So this is exclusive content.
Okay.
When we was going to sign the Koch, you know, so let me highlight that. So for y'all that didn't hear me, when we went to go sign the deal on Koch, meaning that I had to be present in order for the deal to be complete with Koch. My signature had to be on the paperwork for the distribution agreement. All right, so we went to the meeting. Their lawyers were there. Mm-hmm. I told them my lawyer was on his way. You know what I mean? Like he said, yo, I'm gonna be a little late, 20 to 30 minutes late. You know what I mean? Don't start without me. Yeah. I relayed the message to them. They're telling me like, yo, you know, everybody's signature is already on the paperwork or whatever. And I'm not trying to throw no dirt on them or paint them to be no type of way. I'm just telling the truth. They was like, listen, man, everybody's signature is on the contract already. We're just waiting on you to sign and the funds will be released. Da-da-da. I'm like, cool. I'm waiting on my lawyer. They like, yo, man, you good, man. We ain't gonna tell you to sign no paperwork that ain't right. Da-da-da-da. I'm like, man, he just said he'd be here in 20 minutes.
I have a question. Were there lawyers in the room?
Yeah, their lawyers was present.
Okay.
Excuse me, their lawyers were present. Yeah, so I'm telling them, like, listen, he said 20 minutes. They're like, listen, man, all you gotta do is sign the paper and we can get the bread. You're the only one that we need. Like, you holding the process up. Long story short, they pressured me into signing the joint. You know, I'm young at the time. I signed it. My lawyer wasn't there.
Did you guys pop bottles like Bully did when he signed his deal?
Nah, it wasn't. I don't know about none of that, but real shit though. I signed the paper. Each of us got a copy of the contractual agreement.
Yeah.
When we left the building, Sheek told me, yo, let me see that paper. Me being young, I'm not like thinking about it like that. I gave it to him. You know what I mean? Because we was going to be running around that whole day in the wet, running around the hall, and we had to go to the Bronx, all type of places. So he put it somewhere in his car, and I let him hold it. And to be honest with you, that was the last time I seen that paper.
They know though. I think they know. As far as I said it 1,000 times, but in my opinion, J Hud, I love you, fam. And I mean that. I mean that from the heart. And that's a little silly. You see, I'm in the hood and I'm around, and I know you may hear little rumors and all. I remember, J Hud, I remember when it was earlier, I asked your little manager, like, yo, fam, what's his numbers? I need to get in contact with him. When I found out about Sheek took his chain, Sheek smacked whoever and this and that, I wanted to contact you to let you know, fam, I have nothing to do with those rumors. I don't know where they're coming from. I would never. My mom called me the other day, not around when I had, why you put your hands on that boy? I said, I ain't touched that. Hey, come on, man, you can't be serious. I would never touch Joshua. You know what I mean? I was there when Styles gave him J Hood instead of J Love. You was J Love with finger waves and contacts and shit. You know what I mean? It was, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Excuse me, but because I said I'll never take it to that. Because I love you, fam, and that's what it is. And you know, the story goes on with me like holding you down. He's rightfully, fam, like, he has the right to be mad about why his album ain't dropped, why this and that, like, and I respect that. I respect that, like, you know what I'm saying? Because at the time, like, damn, we got him, we pushing it, we got him on magazines, we trying to feed the people hood. And like Flex said, like, if you heard anything was going on in this whole, like, when you say me and Styles, we extra cool. Like Pools was saying the other day, like, fam, talk. Like, he act like he ain't know nobody else in this camp. But somebody gotta be the bad guy. And you know what? I'll strap that on, and that's what it is. He said, like, yo, fam, I had the Sheek took 60,000 from me, and then this and that, and this and that. I'm like, wow, come on, fam. You know I nobody ain't take no money from you, Jay. As far as like he said, it took for my house to burn and this and that. Well, we gave you whatever money. It was because we gave it to you because your house burned and you said you was gonna do this. It's as far as your family and hook your house up at the new spot you're going to. And I have the cots to vouch for that and so on. Whatever you did with the money is your business. Whether you did the right thing with it or not, I don't care. Because most people don't care. Most people see when most people sign a shit and they give you your money in your van, if you spent it on a chain, they don't get a Ferrari with your little 300,000 or so on. After that's gone, they don't deliver my record I want.
So now I'm waiting on my second advance. You know, normally when you sign a contract and you're waiting on an advance, you're not supposed to wait no longer than.
Wait, but you got it when you signed that. You got some money, right?
When I signed the contract agreement.
Yes.
You talking about on site? Like as soon as I did it?
Well, like how long did it take for you to get your first advance?
That's where I was getting to. You know, normally when you sign a contract, you're not supposed to wait no longer than like a week, 2 weeks. You know what I mean?
2 weeks.
Yeah, at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So after the 2 week time period, 3 weeks passed.
Okay.
And they're like, yo, listen, and I have to keep pointing this out. I'm not trying to make nobody look a certain way because you have people out here that are real narrow-minded, and they're trying to paint a narrative. I'm not trying to make nobody look bad. This is just my truth.
Right.
What I was told was SP borrowed $20,000, well, $20 or $25,000 out the D Block account. So it was like, you're gonna have to wait. Do us a favor, just wait until he put it back, and we'll give you advance. So obviously he took my advance for whatever purposes to use it for, and I had to wait for him to replace it to get my advance. So during the time when I was waiting for that, it just so happened that my house burned down. You know?
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
Okay, so my house burned down while I'm waiting on the money. We lose everything.
Yeah. So now you need the money.
Now I absolutely need the money.
Yeah.
So after that happened,
I have a question. Just for the timeline purposes, has Sheek dropped his album by the time that house burned down? Has Sheek dropped his first album on Koch?
Did he drop his album?
I think he did.
Yeah, he might have. I can't.
Because I remember we were at a video shoot and everything was cool then. You hadn't lost your house yet. I remember things got a little weird when your house burned down.
Right.
I remember that.
Happened, and then like 3 weeks later or something like that, I end up, getting my advance. But it took for that to happen for me to get my funds. So as soon as I got that money, I had to pay for my mother's hotel bills. I got us a new apartment.
How much was the? Okay, so I have a question. When your house burned down, who was paying for the hotel you guys were in?
To be honest with you, I think it was like some family.
So it wasn't. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying they had to. We're not saying that Sheek and them were supposed to, because
nobody put together a package and was like, "Yo, let's do this." No, nothing like that. It was nothing.
Did they offer for you to stay with them if you needed to get away from your family or anything?
Absolutely not. A friend offered me that, and I stayed with a friend for a while.
And I'm not saying that Sheek, Jadakiss, and South Beach had to do that. They didn't. They're not. That's not part of being a CEO. So
Right.
Yeah. But I just wanted to let everybody know what situation, where your mindset was at.
Right. So during that time, like that happened, and like I said, I felt kind of a certain way that nobody, tried to offer me anything, and it was three guys. You know what I mean? But whatever. I was the ultimate team player. I didn't take that no type of way.
Yeah.
But now it's time for actually, I think this was during the time period when it was time for my album to come out, because a little bit after that, I went down to the label because I started feeling a certain way anyway.
In the meantime, to stay hot, J Hood's on Smack DVD, the Come Up DVD, any other DVD, saying, and they ask, yo, when's the album coming out? And he keeps giving a date that he's told the album's coming out. So after a while, he starts to look bad because he keeps missing these dates. Right. And he's letting the fans keep asking him, hey, when's the album coming out? At one point, he just had to say, I don't even know when my album's coming out.
Hey, yo, tell us when the hood dropped the soon.
I remember that. And I was like, Like, after we'd cut, I'd be like, "Yo, are you sure?"
When the fuck is soon?
Yeah, exactly.
For real.
By this point, I think Joel's was on his second album.
Hey, yo, look, man, Joel's dropped. I'm gonna tell you, look, it's gonna be funny the way I'm gonna put it, but it's 1,000 though. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so I felt like those guys wasn't putting the same type of energy forth for my project that they were with Lucius' project, and I felt like Lucius wasn't handling mine the same way that he handled his, meaning that he wasn't going to the label regularly checking on them to make sure they own their job as far as for my project or nothing like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Let me just go down here to Kosh and see what's going on. This wasn't something that I did normally, so let me just check it out. Me and my homie, we went down there and we sat down with Alan Grumpler, who was the general manager of Kosh.
Okay.
So he was like, "What up, Hood?" I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" He like, "Everything's cool with you?" I'm like, "Yeah, everything's all right, man. Heard your house burned down." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, I'm sorry to hear that, man." Listen, man, I really just hope that what we was able to give you, helped out a bit, and I'm like, "What you mean?" He's like, "The guys came down here and told us that your house burned down and you needed a little help, you know what I mean, to get on your feet, so we cut them a $60,000 check to give to you." So
I forgot. Yo, we haven't talked about this in a while. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so now I'm dumbfounded. I'm like, what? So he looking at me like,
okay, so guys, just to catch you guys up. So he not only did he not get his $25,000 check, right? Did you get that? They paid you that though. At this point, had they paid you?
I got that after the house burned down.
Okay,
yeah.
So at this point, Styles P had replaced the money he borrowed, gave it to Hood, so he was able to pay down his large hotel bills and get his family situated into an apartment.
New furniture, I got a little car.
So that 20 grand is, as you know, gone. You got to replace your whole life.
Facts.
Okay, so now he's at Koch and he realizes not only did they get that, so that 20 grand, he already owes that. They got another 60 grand from Koch from his budget to give him to get back on his feet. But he never got the check.
And we have to break this down because over time I realize it's people that don't know how this music thing works.
It's always hard to forget, and people always forget that there was a second check cut and you didn't get it.
Right. It's like this. When you're signed to a label,
yes,
and you have a distribution agreement with the mother label, the label that you're signed to, they have the right to sign, not your name, but sign on behalf of you if you're signed to them. So the people that's asking, there was no way they could have got his check and not gave it to him. Yeah, they could have, because the check was signed to that company on behalf of me. So whoever's in charge of that company can endorse it and take it, or whatever the case be. And that's what happened. So as soon as I found out about that, obviously I felt a certain way, you know what I mean? And that's when everything started going downhill.
Hood signed to us, regardless if he put an album out or not. I mean, even with Universal, he received lots of money as an advance and this and that. Whether Kadar said, yo, I'll wipe that shit, we still say keep that 60 G's, or keep whatever it may be, whatever the amount may be. Keep the amount, keep whatever it is.
About that situation, I had got a $35,000 advance. Let me throw that out there. This is just me being honest. Lick shots on Styles P album, I never got paid for that. The Rough Rider compilation, Cash and all them, I never got paid for that. The second one I got on with them, never got paid for that. The Sheek Luch album, the Divine joint, every song you heard me with them niggas as far as albums goes, I never got paid for none of them shit.
End of the day, you're signed to D Block. Point blank. We cut from a whole nother cloth to where we was trying to get off certain labels before that we'll never go that route. When people saying Sheek, they saying Hood, I would say, fam, I'm the reason. Since you want this talking to me, I ain't gonna put my name. Matter of fact, we are the reason niggas know J Hood, fam. Besides what Flex said about all that, and that's we the reason we know you. That niggas know you, fam. Come on, B. We the reason the world knows you.
Yeah. I tried to get D Block studio later on that night to talk to him. I went over there calling Luch phone. Everybody was over there, bullying all of them over there. Nobody answered the door. You know what I'm saying? So after that, everything was just like, it was never the same. You know what I mean?
So, but
I'm gonna tell you some crazy shit. Matter of fact, every brother had fights. I want to put that out there, right? If you have a brother, man,
Yeah.
Especially if you're a younger brother. You didn't have to fight with your older brother. My only mistake was making our fight public. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but like, why did you guys have a fight after that? Why was there no conversation?
It was just a funny vibe. Everything just got funny, man. One day we had a meeting inside the studio, and me and Sheek was about to fight. You know what I mean? Because
over what?
We was having a conversation about like people coming out and who is considered my competition and all this other type of shit and blah blah blah. So I was like, yo, listen, we were speaking about all the youngins at the time. He said something about Joel's being my competition. I'm like, Joel's ain't my competition. He your competition because he's a vice president over there. I'm just an artist over here. Yeah. So how could I be his title? Da 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 and all this other shit and you know what I mean? Like you don't know what that man is getting. I said, I know he getting more than I'm getting. Like you know what I mean? And then
at that point, Joel's wasn't your competition anymore because he was getting paid.
Right. I'm like, listen, you guys want me to compete with guys that are clearly in a different category as me financially, but I don't care about that because lyrically, I'm coming at whoever. But as far as like being realistic about my competition, he's yours, and he didn't take the liking to that too well. So, you know, he said something, and I was just like, man, yo, whatever. He's like, what you mean, whatever? I'm like, I'm looking at him like, you serious? I'm like, what you mean, whatever? He like, what you mean, whatever? I'm like, what you mean, what I mean, whatever? He like, what you mean, whatever? I'm like, I'm looking around in the meeting. It's me, Super Mario, SP, my former manager, Hit, and I forgot who else was there. But I'm looking at everybody because I'm thinking, I'm like, was he serious? So everybody just looking with their head down and shit. I'm like, yo, man, how does y'all lie? I'm like, yo, whatever, Luch. I ain't gonna lie, whatever. Man. What you mean, whatever, man? What you want to do? Look, he's like, you saying whatever, like you want to fight or some dude. I'm like, nigga, I'm looking at these niggas. I'm like, yo, man, y'all hear this nigga? Ain't nobody saying. I'm like, yo, sit here and let this nigga come at me like that, man. Nobody said nothing. So I got up and I act like I was about to walk out the room because I was about to walk out the room. And then, like, I think P or Super Mario just grabbed me like, yo, hood, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Just chill, bro. Just sit down, my nigga. Let's just finish having the meeting. And I finished having the meeting. And
that's why when Styles came, and I'll get to the hood and spoke to Hood. Actually, in the back, in the studio, he said, I spoke to Hood. He said he ready to do his own thing and spread his wings and doing this and that. I told him, I gave him the go ahead. I said, where'd you give him the go ahead? That's what it is. How you going about it? Nah, just let him go. Say no more, that's what it is. Let him go. To this day, no one expected the other shit. Come on, it's a gimmick. I know it's WWF with you, Hood, but at the same time, you know these boys, you know niggas, you dealing with real niggas, fam. Like, come on, B. Stop it. Like, don't do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Stop it, man.
Let me ask you something. So do it piss you off, like, you at the point where it's like mudslinging out there, where niggas gotta get on the camera and say he said this and he said that? Does that did you think it would ever come to this point?
I didn't think it would come to the point with Hood. At the time when he was telling me in the Hood that, like, he was telling me before that he might be ready to do his own thing. But he said, no more, cool, whenever you're ready, you know, boom, 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 boom. Finally he came and then he said he couldn't get in touch with Sheek and so on. Fam, same way y'all pulled in a lot, same way niggas pulled. Niggas is out here heavy. So like when you say you couldn't reach niggas and you don't know where niggas been, don't say that, don't do that. And it ain't getting to me like that because I know when I see his little buddies on the camera and they doing all that, yo, she got smacked. I'm like, fam,
somebody said they'll smack you?
What? Cheek Luch. This is when he was dragging the chain and doing all that shit. And you notice he put it on the side where there ain't no moist nights and shit. He was just doing it, dragging it that way and shit. I'm like, yo, fam, you silly, yo. Don't do that shit, man. I love you. I swear to God, I'm not here to get on you, Hood. I'm not here to talk on this. I'm doing this interview for my niggas, real talk, and that's it. And and it has, you know, we gonna touch on all different topics, but you tripping and you're burying yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? But and then at the end of the day, like say he'll put mad new videos and shit on and shit and this and that. I spent $18,000 on my chain and this and that and this and that. Under his comments, 95% of them saying, Hood, yo, fucking faggot. How you gonna get there and go with this rat, this and that? And I'm not even saying homies, I don't give a fuck what he is. God bless him. He did 600 million with vitamin. What God, do you, man? I get money, we get money too, and we doing what we do. You do you, and that's that. You know what I mean? So it ain't nothing to do with no 50 Cent. And he said, yo, man, them niggas used to always sit around and say fuck 50 and this and that. Yeah, we was beefing with, not even beefing, we was getting at each other. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I was the nigga that I told her, I said, fam, don't get involved in none of that shit, fam. One of them niggas catch you somewhere, fam, you're not prepared. A nobody, and I mean nobody you be with is built that way. So don't get involved with none of it. Yeah, I was there, nigga, I took shit on my stomach, I tattooed my neck, and I did this. And the funny shit, I ain't gonna say your name, nigga. You know, fam. You fucking know. Come on, dog, like this nigga's, you're my, you right here, you right here to me.
So let me ask you something, like, you signed him, does that, how reluctant are you right now to sign another artist to D-Block besides?
I know what you're saying, how reluctant am I to sign another artist? It's nothing, I'll sign a nigga quick as well. Like, man, we got AP, we got Bullet, we got Don D and TY, a lot of niggas that we...
Were they already there already?
Yeah.
I'm talking about after this situation.
After this situation, these niggas can't wait to get homie. Okay. A lot of niggas can't wait to go hard at him and not to mention niggas in the street, fam. Like, when you born and raised, fam, you can't walk these streets. Like it is what it is. Like, and it's on the strength of us where we're saying, nah, don't. Just leave him and let him hang himself, let him finish doing what he's doing. But any of your little buddies, when I see you, your food, fam. Food, straight music. So it is what it is, you know what I mean?
So I wanted to ask.
But I'll sign any, like it is what it is, and I can't wait to get behind another project. We behind a couple of projects, and you know what I'm saying? So what we think is dope.
So Hood never came out. Why didn't he ever come out?
He didn't come out because our shit wasn't together.
Okay.
Sheek Styles as a company.
Okay.
You know, I'm gonna say Sheek because he only talking to Sheek. I'm gonna say Sheek shit wasn't together as far as knowing what to do. Like, all right, damn, we got him hot. How do we push him out when the label is saying they're not feeling him? How do we push him out when these mainstream DJs are saying that shit is whack, but I think it's dope to death? Mm-hmm. How do I do this? How I go? So Sheek wasn't shit wasn't together. Like when they wanted something else, but I wanted to move with Hood, and I'm not even gonna put my niggas involved. Like Sheek, fuck that Sheek. You know what I mean? And you know that's why he never came out. That's why, and he rolled with us, and he was going hard and then like trying to represent and all that. You know what I'm saying? He got his, and shout out to ODG and whatever movement he got going. And like, that's what it is, man.
When people seen Sheek,
yeah,
they seen Hood.
They seen Hood.
Like I was like,
man,
it said when you go at your enemy, crush your enemy totally. You know what I mean? So I was taking different label meetings. I took like 4 or 5 different meetings, but the biggest meeting that stood out to everybody and that contained the most shock value,
50 Cent.
Because that was a quote-unquote arch nemesis. So I'm like, you know what? I had no real intentions on signing with him. You know what I mean? But I'm like, you know what? If I take this meeting with him, this is going to be a gut shot to them.
Yeah, because they were having a beef with 50 Cent at the time.
Yeah, so at that time, I felt like that was the right thing to do. I'm like, you know what? They're keeping me from doing certain things or being in certain places. So
Can I say something? It wasn't just you. Remember, it was okay. So it was you that did that at that time. Remy had a beef with Fat Joe at the time, and Fat Joe had a beef with 50. So Remy did a meeting with 50, and then also Max B did a meeting with 50 because he was going through it with Jim, and Jim and 50 were kind of cool, but not really at that time.
Yeah.
So just get back.
Right, so,
yeah.
So I took that meeting with Fifth, like I said, strictly for shock value purposes. That happened. I'm like, that's a gut shot to them. They're gonna feel that, and they're gonna feel a certain way. So I'm like, you know what? They made me feel a certain way, so they're gonna feel that. You know what I mean? So I did that, and a little after that, I heard that he was having a concert at Jimmy's in the Bronx.
Yeah, man. When I seen 50 and Hood and everybody on stage, I said, Hood is in the back. Them boys is rocking, doing their thing up front. You know what I'm saying? They doing their show. Hood is in the back, yeah. Fifth, oh man, sing. I said, yo, homie, you tripping, man. You bugging out, cause like you got 700 freestyles. And he said, I only did the freestyles to ride for my camp. I only did this to ride for my camp. It don't work like that. I read a lot of people's comments on this shit. I think when they seen you go over to that camp and say, yeah, I'm Chuck me and doing this and that, it was like weird to them. Like, what the fuck is you doing? I mean, shit. And a lot of my fans is through loyalty, through like them niggas stick with the camp point blank. You know, it's not because we sold multi-millions of records. It's not because, even though we do big mainstream records and all that, but our fans is them jail niggas. Our fans is them, like, them niggas that's really on that shit.
and I was hanging out at the Bronx real frequently. So I'm like, you know what? We gonna pull up to that joint. I think I hit Yayo or something like that. I'm like, yo, I'm pulling up to the joint. He's like, all right, bet, pull up. I'm gonna tell Fifth. So during the time when I dragged the chain, I was on my way to the concert. And initially, I didn't even intend on dragging the chain. It was a rumor going around that Sheek had took that chain. So that's why I pulled it out on video and was like, this chain? Somebody was like, hey, we heard Sheek took that chain. I'm like, this chain right here? I showed it. Mm-hmm. And everything was just more so on impulse, man. My man was like, man, we walked that joint. As soon as he said that, I just started walking it. You know what I mean? I didn't even think twice about it.
Did you buy this chain? You bought this chain with your own money?
Definitely. I had to save up. I bought it to make the company look good. You know what I mean? Like I said, because I was a team player. So like I said, I didn't think about what I was doing. I drugged the chain. And to be quite honest with you, and this is me being 1,000. That footage was never even supposed to be released. I told homeboy that was taping this shit, I'm like, yo, listen, don't even put that out until I give you the green light. You know what I mean? Yeah. Next thing I know, the video hit the internet and it's going crazy. You know what I mean? And he gives me, I call him up, I'm like, yo, what's going on, my nigga? Why you dropped that? He like, yo, I ain't even put it out, man. My cousin put it out. I'm like,
does this guy still do DVDs?
Nah, but
or he still does anything?
I don't know what he does. He be running around in the streets and shit, but that right there is like saying my dog ate my homework or some shit.
Yo,
like,
that was a thirsty move. Did he put his tag on it?
Facts.
So, okay, so mind you guys, he brought it home, edited it, even when Hood said that, and somehow it got on the internet.
I'm not trying to justify it or nothing like that, but it really wasn't supposed to come out. But when it did, it's like you can't turn back now. It's lit. You know what I mean? So you gotta go. You know what I mean? So that came out, and then I started doing the disc videos, the gun video with me with mad people with hammers in the back.
I'll do this and that nigga cheap, but I don't know these niggas in your video or nothing. Like, that ain't your crew I seen you with. Who's these boys? Like, what you doing? That's why it's more, you know what I mean?
There was a lot of stupid shit.
Yo, those were funny.
Yeah, that was funny, but them shits were wild stupid. I shouldn't have did the shit, and
that's why it was funny.
Yeah, looking back at like, man, all that shit was corny.
The difference, not to cut you off.
Yeah, explain to people.
The difference with the Let the Locks Go campaign, we couldn't get off. Let the Locks Go campaign, Sheek, Styles, and Kiss couldn't get off the label because Diddy was saying, screw that, I'm not letting them go. If they gonna rap here. Hood, when you and P had that talk, it was clear as day. We'll let you off scot-free, no nothing. We love you, fam. God bless you.
I forgot why I didn't mention it to him, but until after the case.
Do you feel like because you didn't address that, it made something build up inside of you, keeping it inside, and maybe you gave off a vibe, you know, like it's possible, right? Because you weren't addressing something that was bothering you. I'm not giving anyone an excuse. I'm just saying, I remember that was your angry point, you know, where things kind of switched, and you know, we'll get into like, you know, you dragged the D block. You were just doing things that were out of character.
Yeah, because what people have to understand, right, is this. I was in a situation where I was the only male in the house. I was living with my mother at the time and my two younger sisters. One has autism and my mother had just B liver disease. I was the only one bringing in money in the house. I had to support everyone. So at this time, you guys are fucking with my well-being. You know what I mean? Like I can't get the money that I possibly could be getting.
Right.
You're not putting me in the right position to be able to receive or obtain that type of money. So.
Right.
It was just a lot of different shit.
A lot of anger was building up inside of you, and looking, you know, hindsight is 20/20. Looking later, you being young then, you know, do you think that you were trying to be the man of the house still and just not deal with certain things, and that's why you didn't? Why didn't you deal with it with them? That 60 grand. Why do you think now? Let's just be.
To be honest with you, man. Like one, I just felt like if they didn't bring it up. Evidently they was trying to be secretive about it. You know what I mean?
So in your mind, you were formed.
I had also found out that my budget had been cracked before I even had any knowledge of it being cracked. Because to my knowledge, the buzzer wasn't touched at the time. I had like a $175,000 to $200,000 budget.
Yeah,
something like that. And I didn't think it was touched because I didn't get a video yet. We didn't, do anything like that to promote the album. So when they told me it was cracked, I'm like, how? When?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. Like I didn't address any of that because, like I said, I felt like, okay, these guys are clearly keeping it secret, and like whatever. I have no power over here anyway. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just keeping it in because they say never tell all of what you know. You know what I mean? And I had that type of mentality at the time, and I'm young, and right now, look at it like, you know what? I'm older. I should have spoke on it. I should have been vocal about it. There's a lot of shit that I did that I would have did differently now that I'm, you know, a little bit older and I view things a little different. But at that time, I could say now I was a little immature. You know what I mean? Like I was hot-headed. I mean, I was young, man.
And they support you from afar.
Fact.
Yeah, and you love. I mean, you're always open to talk to them whenever, right?
That's a super fact, man. They tell me to come by the lab whenever I feel like it.
I mean, that's like your family in a way. Like, those are your brothers for real, almost. Like, it felt like that with you, right?
That's why shit hurt the way it did. You know what I mean? And not handle things the way that I handled them at the time, even though it wasn't the proper way to do it. Like that, a lot of that was frustration. It was hurt. It was the feeling of me feeling like I was betrayed. You know what I mean? Like, with a lot of those mixed emotions. If you're dealing with those type of emotions at a young age, you're not going to know how to articulate yourself in a proper manner. You know what I mean? About the things that you want to speak about. So instead of me, you know, taking another approach, I lashed out. You know what I mean? And
you know what I feel like? I feel like you guys resolve things, but you guys really all still need to sit down because everybody had their own faults in this. Everybody did, you know? And you guys really just need to sit around as brothers and just say sorry and just talk about it and really move on. Like, really still be, it might never be the same, but you guys should still have that brotherly love with each other still, you know? It seems like that's still broken a little bit, but I know you still love them and I'm sure they still love you, you know?
Yeah, the thing is, man, people, I mean, to this day, it's ridiculous, man. You still got people that hold the chain dragging thing against me. You know, you got people that still talk about the disloyal thing. You got. I mean,
why did you drag the chain? Why did you drag the chain?
Okay, let me.
Why did you drag the D block chain?
All right, so let me clear up the misconception that people have about me as far as why I drug the chain, and also let me clear up the unfactual statement that he made about me being upset at the fact that they didn't drop my album. That's far from the truth. I had got over that a while, even before anything was taking place. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't even why I was mad. I was more so upset at the fact that they wouldn't let me out of my contract. You know what I mean? Like, that was what the whole lashing out was about. That was why I drug the chain and all that type of shit. I asked to be released.
Were you trying to hurt them by dragging the chain? Like you felt you were hurt?
At the time, I felt that way. I'm like, you know what? Man, listen, I had to do, like, at that time, I was reading The Art of War. You know what I mean?
And at this time, I'm in the middle of this beef because I'm still friends with him and I'm friends with them. So I'm at D-Block's studio, then I might go see him, and I'm just in the middle, awkward. And I remember I was in the car with Sheek one day, and he's like, and he just pulled up at J Hood's house, and he was like, sometimes I just come over here and just have my breakfast and be like, yo, Hood! Yo, Hood!
Nobody can't really get in, so I just, you know what I'm saying? I come chill, I sit here, make my calls, do what I gotta do. Ain't nothing though. Yo, Hood! See you and talk to you. Alright? They can't say he was looking for Sheek. Sheek for you or Sheek looking for whoever. Like, it's real talk with me. Just make this right. Your little buddies is food.
That man was lying.
And I was like, this is uncomfortable, man.
That man was lying.
So this beef wasn't real because at any time he could have gone to D-Block's studio or they could have gone to his crib. Yeah. That never happened.
Yeah, fact.
So it was really a brotherly problem.
Yeah, man. He came to my crib and came to my block on a dead day when nobody was there, when my mother wasn't even at home. When
but it was hilarious. But Hood, it was hilarious.
Yeah, I bet.
I was amused. I tried to tell him, I don't know if you should do this, bro, but he was adamant in doing it. And I was like, these guys are like real brothers. Like they really are just taking pot shots at each other. Like,
man, like it was just a bunch of crazy shit. You seen the Dragon and Chain motherfuckers like, what the fuck is go wild.
That was the talk of the town for a minute because he was like, that was disrespectful.
Facts.
That time it was just super
it was.
disrespectful.
I could say it was, man. It was like ultra disrespectful. Like, yo, like if somebody did that to me,
that's when I knew you lost your mind. I was like, okay, he's there.
Yeah, if somebody did that to me, like me being the age that I am now, I'll be like, yo, it's a little disrespectful bastard. and I admitted that. I'm like, you know what? And actually on my new album, I touched on it. I'm like, you know what? Disrespectful, yeah, but disloyal was something that I never was. Like, you know what I mean? Right. I was disrespectful though. Disloyal, absolutely not.
Well, meeting with 50 was a little disloyal.
That wasn't disloyal because I did it with a reason.
But they looked at it as disloyal.
Hey, you must never read 48 Laws of Power and you don't know how to play.
No, I understand. I'm just saying, if I was in their shoes, I would look at you like, oh. It's almost like, it's just crazy.
I would look at it like, yo, we playing chess last. What's my next move gonna be? You know what I mean? That's how I would have looked at it.
I'm not saying you're disloyal. I'm saying they perceived it as disloyal. You were doing it to sting them because they hurt you and you wanted to hurt them back.
And it was easier for them to push that narrative because the average person not going to look at it and break it down. You know what I mean? In the way that
I knew you, so I knew what you were doing. And me and you talked about it like off camera. We would talk, wait, why'd you do that? And you'd be like, well,
But let me tell you some real shit, right? And to be real with you, like a lot of shit that I started hearing about myself during that whole time period, I never heard before I left these guys. Like all types of rumors started surfacing, all type of crazy shit. I heard every single thing under the sun that you could possibly hear. I heard I got robbed, stripped butt naked in the Bronx, all kinds of shit. I'm like, hey, what the But
I do come back together.
What I will say is this though, I'm totally, appreciated to the bros for giving me an opportunity to be heard. You know what I mean? Like that's one thing that I could never take away from them. I always put that out there. They gave me an opportunity to be heard on a massive, level. And I am, somewhat them. I still look at myself as being like all three of them mixed into one, mixed up with my favorite rapper, which is Pac.